it's really good we have the Facebook. There's some really good things in there, so that won't be lost. So as spiritual beings having a human experience, everything that I teach is how you can truly know thyself. So understand your avatar. So your body, think of the body and mind as your avatar through which you as a spiritual being have a human experience. When you can understand the avatar, not from a place of mind, from a place of inner knowing, how the avatar functions, you can train it so that it understands reality in a way that you create your reality consciously. So this is what this work is about. It's not that you have to invest in a certain thing or build your business a certain way. It's about how do you understand the complex nature of a reality so that you can create consciously everything outside of yourself. Okay, we'll come to admin in a moment because this is a really beautiful one I want to share with you. I know that a lot of you here know on a mental level that reality is not created or your life is not created outside in. I know that many of you understand it's created inside out. But, and those in the school, you know I don't use the word but often. Here it's required that we use the word but. But do you live it in every breath of your existence? Do you understand on a cellular level Okay, am I back? Yes, I'm back. Let's make sure I'm pinned. Okay. I'm just going to connect to a different source of internet. Okay. See, we can have these things happen and still teach an awesome session. Let's make sure that everything's still working. Yes, good. I can see a few of you, Kim, Joy, Hannah, could you give me a thumbs up that you can hear me okay? Yeah, fantastic. Let's continue. I'm just going to make sure that this is still... Can you check this is still streaming, Fela? Could you check that for me, please?
It's not on Facebook. It's streaming onto the customer live service, but it's not going through to Facebook.
It's not going through to Facebook. Okay. So here it looks like it's streaming through the event. Yeah, here I can see it. Good.
We're not seeing it. I'm not seeing it on Facebook, and a couple of the girls aren't seeing it either through the event. So I'm not sure what's going on there.
Okay.
So I need to lock the flow. It's just saying the live event should start soon.
Okay, let's see if it's working now. So we did actually lose that first portion. Really awesome portion. It wasn't recorded. Never mind. So it's now going live. We've got it. There we go. Amazing. I'm just going to mute you, Fela. There we go. So ladies who are watching this on Facebook Live, hello. We thought we were live. So if you want to join us in the Zoom room, then you can find the Zoom link pinned to the top of the group in the first post. Okay, so you are welcome to join us in the Zoom room. So this is a really important point to complete. We can understand from mental knowing that our reality is created from the inside out. It's another thing to actually live it and to embody it. And this is what I mean by embodiment. When I teach embodiment of wealth, embodiment of success, embodiment of confidence and belief in yourself, it's not that you think a thought and then you lose it. It's not that you follow a strategy or a formula. You are it. The way that your mind thinks, the beliefs that you have, the paradigms through which you live, is that you are wealthy, successful, confident, amazing, lovable, worthy. This is what I mean by embodiment. There isn't a thought in your mind that tells you, but maybe I'm not. You know that you are. And there is a huge difference between that. Because when we reach this level, and this is where your business gets to be the most profound healing journey when taught through this way, yeah? That when we can acknowledge everything that gets between us and the success and the impact that we want, we realize that it's healing work that's required. Because every strategy I apply works. That we've got 153 women signed up to this event, and I barely put in any effort. It was super easy, super flowy, no paid ads. It was all sent out a few messages, few posts, and flows of women coming in. Because the embodiment of the work that I do, the confidence in who I am and what I do, and the value it brings to human beings, and then everything I speak is from that place. And how I show up in my life is from that place. So this is where embodiment then creates these quantum leaps in whatever it is that you're calling in love and success and all of the things. So creating life from the inside out. My desire is that from this day forth, a passion for you, if it's not already, is truly understanding this. Where we go from victim to creator. This person makes me feel? No. The political system is? No. Wars are bad because? No. We acknowledge that we create. And once we do that, and enough of us are doing that, outer reality, way beyond self, begins to change. We all know there's a big shift happening. But that's not what we're talking about today. Welcome those of you joining us. So let's go through sexy admin before I forget, because this is important. So today, my invitation is that you commit, that you come to all of the lives, and we will add a carrot, a dangling carrot that you will get to actually eat at the end of it if you all come to all of the lives, okay? We have 2 prize draws. One, a lot of you have participated already, which is inviting 5 friends to join us for this event. For the first 5, it's 1 entry, and then every 3 after that is another entry. Okay, I know that lots of you, we've had a flood of more women signing up this morning. Lots of you have already entered. The prize that you win is actually tailor-made to you. Whoever wins this, there's going to be 2 winners. Whoever wins this, we will choose the prize together. We will give you a variety of things to select from, and then we'll determine which one is going to bring you the most value. You know, so whether it's maybe a one-on-one session with me, which I usually charge a lot for. So maybe I look at your business and we have a look at, we unpack things, yeah? Or maybe you get one of our courses on wealth creation. The last event we did, we had a really amazing prize. Kim, you were one of the winners. Samira, you were one of the winners as well, yeah? That did require a little bit more commitment than sharing with 5 friends. And that was 3 months in the school, yeah? And that's life-changing. You imagine what a couple of days in a free event can do for you. 3 months inside my paid spaces is a completely different kettle of fish. So that is our first prize draw. Our second prize draw is the all in. We do this every time. Those of you who go all in and come to all of the lives and participate and commit to, not to me, to you, to your vision. And I know, I can tell the ones who go all in. I can feel it in your energy. I can feel it in your presence. And if you're not able to come to the live, I can still feel it because it's all about the comments that you put underneath in the group. I can see that you're doing the things and you're saying yes to yourself. The prize for that's going to be even better than the first prize draw. Yeah, again, we've not decided. I want it to be something that moves you fast towards your dream. Whatever that will be. I'm going to have a think on it, okay? We have a session today, tomorrow, same time. I'm in Spain, okay? So bear in mind times are Spanish times. Tuesday, and then we're having 2 bonus sessions. I'm very excited. Oh, that was a nice response. Thank you. I saw a few of you go, ooh. I love that. The first bonus session I'm very excited about because it's actually 2 of my students who are going to come in and share about their experiences. There's a lot of benefit from this because a huge part that gets in the way of us achieving what we desire is we hold on to disbelief. And we're like, well, I don't know if that will work for me because I'm, and then we have a story. Because I'm small, because I had a trauma, because my father did this, because my partner was abusive. Yeah, and then we'll have a story why it works for everybody else apart from us. So a couple of my students will come in. One will be sharing around confidence and the massive change in that. And the other, well, I'm going to let them share what they want to share. Maybe they won't, this is what I've seen in their journeys, but they can share whatever they choose. The other massive changes in business, huge changes. Yeah. So you get to see how by applying these things it can change your life. And also, when we finish the free event, so probably tomorrow, maybe Tuesday, I'll see when it really is aligned to begin to share. For those of you who are like, the free event was lovely, now I want to work with you, I will share at the end of the session. So those of you who aren't interested, you're free to leave. Those of you who want to hear, you can stay, you can find out what I do. So those of you who are like, well, I actually prefer the paid stuff, I actually want to commit long-term and work with you, you can find out what it is I do and all of the details so you can feel if it's aligned for you or not. You can feel if working with someone like me is your jam, okay? Because the investments, they're stretchy investments. They're not small ones. Yeah, just warming you up to the prices. They're stretchy investments, okay? What else? So we've done the prize draw. We've got the bonus session on Thursday. That's the first bonus session. That will be 6 p.m. Spanish time, 5 p.m. UK Island. I'm not sure about the other one. I will let you know. That will be in the WhatsApp group and email. And I think that's it. Yes, we've got through all of the admin. So ladies, I'm not setting you up for average results with this. With what we'll be sharing, we're setting you up for results that you currently think could never be possible for you. So my invitation is, because it's nervous system as well, those of you who are trauma informed or work with, massage, touch therapy, dance, those sorts of things, you will understand this from that perspective. The level of nervous system, that tension that we hold on to, I really invite you to let that go and trust. Trust that by leaning into the inner work and healing your doubts, you get to expand into the next level of consciousness, because it's literally what it is. What stops us from expanding is that tightness we hold on to, those fears and those disbeliefs and those stories. And so this work is all about, on a level of beliefs and nervous system, letting go, surrendering, trusting, and moving from that place. Okay. Let me come back to notes because we're already half an hour in. There's really, really powerful things I want to go through. Let me come to the chat. Oh, thank you, Christina. You have such a wonderful presence and your voice is so engaging. We'll love hearing student feedback too. Let me speak to that just for a moment, and this has come before. It's practice that has helped create that presence and speak in a way that engages. Yeah, so for those of you who are thinking, I'd love to also do something similar, it's literally practice. At first it was challenging. Okay. Feeling emotional hearing this, as this has been my main challenge. Thank you. Okay, thank you, Osra, for that. Amazing, letting us know what's going on in the WhatsApp group. Failure. This, everybody needs a failure. You all need a failure in your life, helping you with the bits. Failures in the background doing all of those things. So going back to the all-in, ladies, my invitation, whether you want to put this in the chat or you choose to feel it in your body because you decide it for yourself, are you ready to go all in on creating a life beyond what you can possibly dream of being possible for you? Are you ready to go all in on truly acknowledging yourself as a spiritual being having a human experience that is the creator of your reality? Because this is what the manifestation work is. It's not about I visualize a thing and then I wait for the full moon. I do love the full moon work, by the way. I wait for the full moon, and then when I focus on it, I'll get what I want. And it's really acknowledging that everything outside of us we create within ourselves first. And when we know this from within, there's this place of, oh, thank goodness. It's real relief. This is a word you brought up the other day, Kim. It's relief. It's like, oh, fuck. Don't have to fight anymore. Yeah, even when it's hard, I don't have to fight anymore. Because this is the thing, yeah? As we're building the most incredible business in life, there's going to be hard bits. Guaranteed. It's not all going to be easy. Yeah, this is why I create these free events. This is why I have my paid containers. This is why I focus on long-term support. Because some of it's hard. And it's how we navigate the hard parts, how we hold ourselves through the hard parts, and acknowledging that the hard parts, and in fact your shadow, our shadows, that is where the diamonds are. That gold that you look for is in your fears, it's in your shadows, and it's in the obstacles. Oh, I can see you all putting all in the comments, amazing. Listening to some really inspiring, actually I'm going to look for the quote because I wrote this down. Really inspiring podcast with Carl Jung, talking about shadows. And this, I know I've not shared a huge amount about me for those of you we're meeting for the first time. And I'd love you to put in the chat, actually, how do you know me? How have we connected? Like, some of you, I know you're in the school. Some of you taken courses. Some of you we met in person. I know there's a lot of you who you're new. And this is the first time we're meeting, which is very exciting. Oh, I love this. I'll put my video on shortly, still getting rest. Can we invite people after this hour to watch the replay and still be, yes, you can, and you can still enter that prize draw. So we will, sometimes we delete the replays after a period of time to encourage you to watch them and not procrastinate. Let's see what we do this time. But as long as they're live, you can still invite people. I had a taste of this embodied success and felt the healing and want this totally to be permanent. So I am totally all in for this whole process and reality. I know it's real and powerful and life-changing. Amazing, Jays. And this is another piece to share, as a lot of us, what we desire is to truly help others. A lot of you here, and it's to do with the way that I've marketed this event, because it was very intentional. You're empaths. You've probably been through some hard stuff. Yeah, you had to do quite a bit of inner healing work. You had to face 1, 2, 10, 100 dark nights of the soul. Yeah, your desire is to help others because you've been through shit yourself. Yeah, you want to live you probably, when you were younger, you felt you were a little bit different from others. You probably felt a little bit strange and weird and thought maybe that there was something wrong with that. Some of you won't have thought that, others will. And you felt that you were going against the grain. And you're like, what's wrong with me? Why do I feel different? Why don't I want to live life like we're told to live life? And you've probably gone against the grain in a lot of areas. You've not followed the footsteps of what normal society does. Yeah. I've actually written a list because the way that I've marketed this event is very, very intentional. Yeah. So for those of you who want to understand marketing, even though I didn't say any of these things, the story behind what I said in the marketing is all of this. So I've known who I'm speaking to. Why? Because you're the people I want to work with. The people, those of you who've started following me on Instagram, I went onto all of your Instagrams, the ones that weren't private, and a sneaky peek. I got to know you, got to see what you're doing. And seeing the amount of the beauty, the high frequency, the things that, the talents that you have, the wisdom that you have, it's super inspiring. We've got now building to more and more 150 and more women who are all that. You're all doing something incredible or want to be doing something incredible. And there's a real high frequency being in a space like that. And I have a funny feeling that quite a few, probably higher than average number in this space, are neurodiverse and have something like ADHD, dyslexia, that sort of thing. Yeah, because there is something about being a little bit different. It's actually a gift. We don't realize when we're going through the challenges of it that it's a gift that propels us to find answers, that then connects us with what we're here to do. Yeah, so whatever challenge it is, whether you went through a childhood trauma, an eating disorder, depression, challenges with ADHD, etc., that was actually the gift that led you to find answers, to heal the things so you can now help others. Yeah, so body dysmorphia, all of those things. So the fact that you're here is because, even though it was painful, that was actually what now gets to be your superpower. Yeah. And I know that in this space, we have everything from, personal trainers, nutritional therapists, coaches, healers, Reiki, dance, art. There's a lot of creativity in here, in this space. Okay, Evergreen, you found this online through the conscious event. So I think maybe it was Penelope that shared that. Okay, Mimi, I'm ready to design my best life. And I was reminded that I can't offer my workshops now because my website branding and image are not ready. I got upset with my sister. I said that I'm building it. And while I do, I'm exploring my capacities and developing my confidence because I see the positive impact on people. What's the right attitude? Okay, I love that you asked that question. When you embody, I am the creator, everything that is external to me has been created within me. Why is this the best thing that could ever happen? And how do I choose to look at this? Why is this the best thing that could ever happen? And how do I now choose to look at this? Okay, where am I with the comments? They keep flicking back and forth. Oh, Hannah, you were invited by Jen. Amazing. Christine, you saw the advert on Facebook. Okay, you wanted to check, of course, check it out before inviting others. Amazing. That's beautiful. So you know what it is you're inviting people to. That's very high frequency. Love it. I just had an email, not sure when I signed up, but responded to this. It may be through Facebook or the algorithm. I love that. We don't know how we connected, but we have. Connie's been with me for a long time. Yes, since Train Your Trinity, 2 years in the school. Connie is, in fact, one of the students who will be coming in and sharing. I've learned so much, and I'm still learning and expanding and feeling so abundant. Rachel's an amazing teacher. Thank you, darling. Kim, yes, we met in person at a female gathering in Spain. You were so radiant and true to yourself. Thank you. That's beautiful. It just made me want to know and learn from you. Yes, Ozra, we met on Facebook first, did we? Oh, amazing. And then in person. And I've been following, admiring your work for a while, and I've lost that. And now you're in the school for a whole year. This is amazing. Super excited for 2025. Bonnie, you were recommended from a women's group in Ireland, so Penelope, Galway. Oh, it could be a Fela as well. So both Fela and Penelope. Kim, now in the school for a whole year. Yes. Tracy, I've had Fela in my life for 25 years. Oh, Tracy, hello. Wonderful to connect with you. So Evergreen, you're ready to connect with other women who are transforming, co-regulate with that energy. Yes. Yes, yes. What we surround ourselves with is what we normalize within ourselves. See and support each other through it and recognize and embody my power. I've gone against the grain most of my life. Deborah, you're a dream weaver, and someone shared this series and it caught my attention. Glad to be able to listen. Amazing. Fuck yeah, we're doing incredible stuff. I love this. Okay, so to come back, I'm going to come back to the comments, and if we don't get through all of them, well, I'll read them once we finish. Okay, so structure. Today is all about commitment. And you will notice through what we're talking about, this whole conversation is high frequency. We say a lot and nothing at the same time, but it is all about expanding your mind and consciousness to possibility, not limitation. That is what everything that we do is all about in my spaces. Connecting you with possibility and removing limitation. So today is about you really tapping into, I choose, I decide, I create. Versus, I hope, let's see, if, weak frequency. Yeah, we talked about this in the school the other day. The frequency of the weight of your words is what will create the frequency within you, which is what creates the results outside of you. So when we semi-commit, let's see if what Rachel has to say works. What results are you going to get from that? Let's see. I'm going to place that on her. It's Rachel's responsibility for me to get results. No, it's not. It's not my responsibility. Yeah, I choose. I choose to hear what she has to say as a woman who's gone from really struggling financially to doing very, very well. And not only this, because this is a tiny piece in the puzzle, because I'm all about relationship with self and happiness. To have gone from depressed, depression was my normal. Yeah, that was how my brain was structured. It was how my nervous system was structured. It was just how I experienced life and myself. And anorexia, which is a mindset, a way of thinking and experiencing oneself and one's body, and all of the things that are connected to that. So not to spend too much time on this, but for those of you who don't know me, I'm now 1 year, 1 month from having breast implants taken out of my body. Yeah. So that is the extent of my dysmorphic relationship with my body. I went 20 years with breast implants. Now, I'm not saying that that is the case for everybody who has them. Everybody's journey is different. Mine was, I could not love myself, and I thought that by putting foreign objects in my body, I could finally love who I was. Because it was up to the world outside of me to tell me I was beautiful. Yeah, so can you see like the stories that come behind all of the things that we tell ourselves? No, I'm doing it for myself, having big boobs. No, getting big boobs so the world can tell me I'm beautiful, so I believe that I am. Yeah, so there's been a lot of healing work to now be really solid in myself. That people can say some really shitty things. I'm like, okay, that's you, not me. Cool. Because it's when we can get to that place where you are the one that determines and decides, not determines, who decides that you are worthy, that decides that you are lovable, decides you are sexy, decides you are beautiful, decides you are successful, decides the type of life you get to live. You are the one that decides all of it. And when we really drop into that, yes, it requires a level of responsibility that not everybody is willing to take on. Not everybody is willing to be that responsible. And that's why not everybody lives their dream life. Not everybody gets to be as happy as they want to be. A lot of people live in limitation. Internet's coming again. Let's sort this out. A lot of people live in limitation because they're not willing to be responsible. They're not willing to commit or invest. So my invitation with this, and this is why I'm focusing on it so much today, is if you really want what you're focusing on, take responsibility for creating it. Yeah. Day 2 tomorrow. This is all about problem awareness. So really bringing your attention, not what you think the problem is that's getting in the way of what you want, so confidence and wealth and impact, what is actually getting in the way. And you're like, well, why do you need to tell me about the problems? No, it's because when we know what we're working with, then we can heal it. When we can see, we cannot see what we cannot heal what we cannot see. And the quote from Carl Jung that really, and this is something I would love for you to take away and have it for yourself. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life. Until you bring into conscious awareness the thoughts and beliefs that you hold around who you are and what is possible and what money is and what business is, that stops you from getting what you want, until you bring that into conscious awareness, you will always live by those rules that you're unconsciously imposing on yourself. You will always be weighed down by stories that limit you. Once we do the work to bring that to conscious awareness, then we know what we're working with, then we can heal it, then we can transform, and then it's easy. So let me just share a little bit about this work so it makes more sense to you. I've just seen on my notes the word hedonism. We're going to tap into what hedonism means in a moment. And we're going to talk about holding duality as well. Okay, this is fun stuff. And I know that this is the type of stuff that you ladies love. Yeah. Duality, understanding, there's some philosophy in there, there's some spirituality in there. Because this is the spiritual path to wealth. This is the spiritual path to happiness. This is the spiritual path to having an incredibly successful business. Yeah, so it's all done through the lens of and the frequency of abundance, love, oneness, unity. So all frequencies within you that are not that have to go. All frequencies within you that you hold on to that do not vibrate with abundance have to be released. That's where the work is. And then we do strategy. Strategy is super easy. Send some messages, write some posts, talk with some people. When you vibrate at the frequency, everybody wants to work with you. You don't have to force or push anyone. So day 2 is about understanding what's getting in your way. Day 3 is about the how. Day 3 is about getting into the driving seat and you knowing exactly how to make your dreams come true. Day 4 bonus session will be about hearing other people's stories, because it's one thing to hear mine, you're also going to hear others. And then the bonus session will be most likely focused on those of you who want to understand the work that I do, whether you want to join now or later, you will be able to hear all of the things. Yeah, so we'll save that until then. And yes, I'll speak about it at the end of probably tomorrow's session and Tuesdays. Okay. So the work that I do so for those of you who don't know, I'm the founder of an online school called the School of Total Transformation. And this is a school for women who are dedicated to living a life on purpose. Now, the reason I'm telling you this now is so you can understand what this work is. Because the system that I work with is a system of transformation on all levels. So I'm both a yogi and a fitness lover. I'm about science. I like facts. I like proof. When people would talk to me about focus on the color orange and connect with your chakra to unblock that area, I'd be like, what the fuck does that mean? Tell me, explain it to me. First off, I can't visualize it. I don't see things. So I'd be like trying so hard to see orange. I'm like, I've got to see orange and then I will heal my relationship with my sexuality. But I couldn't get it. It just didn't land. So I've also spent a lot of time getting into understanding through logical mind what is happening on the level of nervous system, on the level of chemical processes in the body, physiology, anatomy. I like to have that so that the mind goes, okay, yeah, I get it. Now I can let that go. Now I can focus on the orange and I can breathe into my, sexual organs and experience, multiple orgasms, whatever it is. Now it makes sense to me. Okay, I get it. So we work a lot with the system that I work with. We focus on the 3 layers: the physical, the mental, emotional, and the spiritual. Yeah, so the physical isn't just about your physical body, it's everything in the physical world. The mental, emotional is about understanding emotions and understanding mind. Yeah, once you understand mind, you can be free of mind. Once you really, really get it. Kim, I can see you smiling and nodding there because you're a versed meditator. Yeah. And so meditation really helps us to watch mind and go, oh, damn. There's a thought. Oh, there's another thought. There's a story. Yeah. And so this work is, yes, we get to have an incredible physical health. We get to have an incredible relationship with our body. We get to understand the science, but we also get to walk the spiritual path. Yeah, and what I mean by total transformation is the following. That with the system that I teach and with what we will be talking about in these days, that you can translate this system to anything. So right now we're going through money and business because I know it's important to you. That's why I chose the topic. Because I know that wealth is important. This is why I've chosen to also be a business coach and to be very good at business. So I spent a big chunk of time and a lot of money learning about business and then adding in the spiritual and frequency work so it's high vibe. Yeah. Because I acknowledge that, because for me it is to teach people the spiritual path and acknowledging that to be committed, your goal has to be important enough to you for you to keep coming back to it. Because like I said, it's not always easy. And so I know the goal for you of having a successful business and financial freedom and belief in yourself is important enough. So I've got very, very good at it. So to teach you the spiritual work through the lens of that. Yeah. Okay. What other magic to share today before we sign off? Because I've just seen the time. Actually, I'd like to turn it back to you because I have some questions. Let me find, I've written them down. And I'll come back to the chat. So, question for you. What is happiness to you? What is happiness to you personally? Not the philosophical idea, to you. What is happiness? Oh, I love this in the comments. So Samina's asking about what shall I do? Because Mimi, you're in the school, and this feels like a question topic to do a training on in the school. So if you can copy what you've written and then send it, I'll tell you where to send it. Send it to me via WhatsApp. Okay, send that to me via WhatsApp because this wants to be one of the core questions that we cover as a training. Yeah. Because we won't be going so much through strategy today or in the event. Yeah, this is about more about manifestation, happiness, and wealth creation. But also want to highlight, love what you're saying, Talia. I don't have a website or branding ready, and I've successfully been doing workshops, reading, mentoring for over a year. Boo. Yeah, because the stories we tell ourselves is that I need to have a website to be successful at this. It's just a story. I'm looking at branding and website right now because I know it will support, and at the same time doing the workshops, etc., has also helped me get clearer on the branding. In my experience, it's an individual journey, and as long as you take the next step, the order is somewhat irrelevant. This is a fantastic response. That wants to be copied and pasted. Penelope's like, hedonism. Thank you for reminding me. If we don't cover those today, we will cover them tomorrow. Don't worry. Because understanding hedonism, we all are hedonistic to a certain extent. We are all hedonistic to a certain extent. So hedonism is when we are always in the gap between what we have just achieved or what we have just experienced and the next thing that we want. So we're always in the gap just before we become happy. I'll be happy when I get that thing. I'll experience pleasure when I get that thing. We get the thing and then we're like, and I'll be happy when I get that next thing. And so we're always in the gap. Some people it's the extreme, and for some of us it's just a little bit. And let me touch on duality and what I mean by this. Mastery, self-mastery. And for those of you taking the cert, I invite you to really tune into this. Self-mastery is our capacity to hold duality without attachment to one thing or the other, so that we can experience both at the same time in complete flow. What do I mean by this? Fear and safety at the same time. This is where growth happens. When you can be afraid of stepping into your next level of greatness and feel safe doing it at the same time. Yeah. This is for those of you, because the cert is all about how do we be a master coach? How do we hold space at a very high level? And once we can understand duality and holding duality in ourselves, boom. Let me give you another example. To be both deeply content with who you already are and what you already have, and also driven to experience new things and manifest new things with no attachment to either. So content with what you have with no attachment to what you have. That's freedom. I'm so grateful for what I already have, not attached to it. I don't need it to be happy. Yeah, this is when it really starts to go deep, because this is embodiment of true belief in self. I don't need it to be happy, and I'm so grateful I do have it. And I'm going to melt into truly enjoying it, fully enjoying it without needing it, whilst also focusing on this very exciting goal that I'm moving towards without needing the goal, without trying to force the goal, without rushing to the goal. It's such nuances in how we do things. Yeah. So that complete release of hedonism, to be in that space of non-attached non-duality, non-attached duality. Yeah. We're kind of learning to juggle. It's a skill. And they're saying this is all speaking to me so deeply. Can I ask how long the sessions will be for planning so I don't miss anything? Yeah. So as I mentioned, I think in the WhatsApp group, I aim to keep it to 60 minutes. We quite often go over a little bit because I want to pack so much value. So if you have to head off before, do not worry, we've got the replays. So just remember what time you left so you can come back, and you probably want to watch the whole thing anyway, but you can come back in at that time. Yeah. Oh, I love this. Kim answered, normally an hour, but when the frequency is high, she sometimes goes over a bit. Love it. Thank you, Kim. Jason saying, whoa, and Fantasia, science, senses, analysis, etc. It is so my way too. I'm multi-sensory. I don't know what this is. And fantastic. You've introduced me to things I didn't know were a thing, Jace. You mentioned something about not visualizing. I didn't even know that was neurodiversity. So yeah. Feeling secure, free, and held by love is happiness to me. Amazing. So creating that not connected to something external, fully created from within oneself. That is freedom, yeah? Happiness for me is being grateful every single day. The moment it keeps moving, the moment I get to open my eyes and realizing I get to enjoy another day on Mother Earth to experience my life lessons. Beautiful. Happiness is nothing. Not chasing the invisible beast I've been trying to catch. Silence, ... Yum. I love that. Happiness is the joy I find empowering others to find what makes their hearts sing, their faces shine, feet dance, and wings to fly in being who they are and realizing their dreams. This has been my life's work, in and out of work. Amazing. So I'm going to read through these and then I'm going to set you some homework. I'm just thinking where would be the best place for the homework to be sent. So Failure has reached out. There's a lot of you. So it's been reaching out to as many of you as possible in your DMs to support you through this process. Message either me or Failure with your answers to these questions, or post them somewhere. Yeah, in the WhatsApp group, in Facebook group, wherever your heart feels drawn to post it. Okay. I check all of the places. So we will set you some questions as homework. When my heart and soul feel aligned with whatever I'm doing in that moment, feeling the sun on my face, hugging someone, sharing a meal, reading a book, could be anything at all as long as it's conscious choice for conscious connection to that moment. Beautiful. Happiness is a state of mind. Let's add to that, yeah? Happiness is a state of mind and state of being. It's also because we're physical, mental, and emotional, so we also hold it in the body. It's a state of nervous system. I'm finding happiness in being me, had to choose this. Beautiful and deep, yeah? Choosing happiness in ourselves. Happiness is knowing who I am, loving who I am, and an inner contentment born from this knowing. Knowing I'm where I'm meant to be and doing what I'm meant to be doing with confidence and abundance. Fear and safety, love and medicine of that. Love the medicine of that duality. Okay, and Fantasia is not the having a mental sketch pad and can be such that no senses can be recalled. The smell of an orange or taste or seeing it, okay, or just no visual ability to see in the mind. Amazing. Okay, so we've got 5 more. So as to complete the session today with some powerful points and takeaways for you, I'll read through what's left in the chat and then we'll get into those. Confidence, freedom to pursue my art, celebrating the voice of unrepresented groups. Beautiful. People who feel that they've not been represented, allowing them to be heard, to be seen, to be acknowledged. Amazing. I love hearing my women friends and people of colour friends get the catharsis of speaking up, which is such a big deal for generational excavation of needs. Being myself and belonging, realising that I'm celebrated for being myself. Voice, 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 voice. Beautiful, I agree. Confidence to say no. What's JOMO? I know FOMO. And there's another one, right? That's to do with fear of being too included. I can't remember it. Feeling like my art is more important than whatever distractions people are getting to me. This is related to releasing triggers of falling behind, being okay with being with people, being okay with being alone. Amazing. Happiness is being alive, accepting everything I am and I'm not, feeling grateful for the sun and stars. Beautiful. Okay, ladies, I can see more comments coming through for the purposes of time, and I will read everything, okay? For the purposes of time, main takeaways from today. Commitment is key. Self-responsibility will set you free. Discipline is a good thing. Being triggered is not bad. We'll come to that tomorrow. When you can see being triggered as a good thing, that will also set you free. I'm going to write a note of that because this is a powerful one. Being triggered is a good thing. So don't forget it for tomorrow. Let me leave you with some questions, and then I will see you again tomorrow at the same time. So we've already said, what is happiness to you? We have 3 more. I'm going to post them in the comments. And then I will read them out for you, so you can copy and paste if you would like to. Oh. So what is a life lived on purpose and with purpose? When you answer these questions, you are not answering them to prove anything to anyone. We're not going into some debate to say, this is what purpose is. No, 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 you're doing this for you. You're going within yourself and asking, connecting with spiritual being having a human experience. Ask yourself quantum question that will lead you to more purpose and joy. What to you, for you right now in this lifetime, is a life lived on purpose and with purpose? And allow yourself to feel it in your body. Maybe it even brings tears to your eyes as you're connecting with it, because it's deep for you. And I invite you to spend a bit of time with that today. Yeah. Question 2 is, what is the impact you want to have? Again, same thing. We're not having impact to prove to the world that we're important or to fight the world. Because we can often do that and we get stuck in the cycle of bad is outside of me and bad needs to be changed. When we're focusing on impact, I'd like you to think about, once you've left this physical body and people have forgotten your name, what is the ripple effect that you choose to leave behind on this planet? And then the last question, what is financial freedom to you? And don't think about numbers. Now I've said that, you're going to think about numbers. Rather than think about numbers, I'd like you to think about the feeling of financial freedom. There's no rush to do this. You can spend time, and I invite you to come back to this again and again for many, many months, years even. These questions are really powerful. Kim's asking, where do we answer these questions? Exactly, wherever is best for you. If you want it to be private, send Fader or myself a DM on WhatsApp. Yeah. I don't usually open up my WhatsApp. It's this big deal, I'm opening up my WhatsApp. I'm usually very like, no, only my high-level one-on-one clients. So WhatsApp or in the WhatsApp group, the only thing I'm concerned about is a sudden flood of a lot of messages and it being a bit overwhelming for people. Yeah. So I'm going to create a post on Facebook. Let's do that. If you want it to be private, DM. Otherwise, post on Facebook. Those of you who aren't on Facebook, let's make it as simple as possible for you. If you're not on Facebook, you are going to get this replay. It's going to be on YouTube. Put it in the comments. Okay, so you can put it in a post on Facebook or in the comments on the YouTube video. Then it's all in specific places and you can read other people's. I know that was a lot of info. You'll remember. I know you will. Okay, loves, I'm now off to go and have a delicious lunch with my partner and some friends. I really look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. I love seeing you here and reading your words. Thank you to all of you. Yeah. Puss, puss.